Government control of religion, 501c3. This is a subject not normally even thought of, but it has reached right down to the individual level. Let's examine a nefarious activity established in 1954 by the conspirators. In spite of the First Amendment, Senator Johnson decided to silence the political activities and the influence of the churches. Here's a quote that is of interest. "It is impossible to have religious freedom in any nation where churches are licensed by the government." Congressman George Hansen. Review this article from Heal Our Ministries. Most churches in America have organized as 501c3 tax-exempt religious organizations. This is a fairly recent trend that has only been going on for about 50 years. Churches were only added to Section 501c3 of the tax code in '54. We can thank Senator Johnson for that. Johnson was no ally of the church. As part of his political agenda, Johnson had it in mind to silence the church and eliminate the significant influence the church had always had on shaping public policy. Although Johnson proffered this as a favor to the churches, the favor also came with strings attached, more like shackles. One need not look far to see the devastating effects that 501c3 acceptance has had on the church and the consequent restrictions placed upon any 501c3 church. Those churches are prohibited from addressing in any tangible way the vital issues of the day. If a 501c3 church openly speaks out or organizes any opposition to anything that the federal government declares legal, that church will jeopardize its tax-exempt status. The 501c3 has had a chilling effect upon the free speech rights and doctrines of the church. LBJ was a shrewd and cunning politician who seemed to well appreciate how easily many of the clergy would sell out. Did the church ever need to seek permission from the government to be exempt from taxes? Were churches prior to 1954 taxable? No, churches have never been taxable. To be taxable, a church would need to be under the jurisdiction and therefore under the taxing authority of the government. The First Amendment clearly places the church outside the jurisdiction of the civil government. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion nor prohibiting the free exercise thereof. As a matter of interest, in 1954, at President Dwight D. Eisenhower's urging, the Congress also legislated that "under God" be added to the Pledge of Allegiance, making the pledge read, "I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." What's going on here? One hand giveth and the other taketh away. Sometime during this same period, churches began the custom of not discussing politics in their classes or meetings, and the people at large began the custom of not discussing either politics or religion. This custom was probably established because these two subjects can sometimes cause heated debates. But what has really happened with the total picture? The pulpit was a major factor during the Revolutionary War. It was often referred to as the Black Regiment. This was because the ministers mostly wore black robes when they delivered their sermons. These ministers were the backbone of the revolution as they taught the people. Where is the Black Regiment of today when we need it so badly? It's been gagged by the 501c3 paragraph of the IRS code. This paragraph officially says churches are not taxable, but by extension, it also says donations to these organizations are not taxable, and that's the rub. We, the citizens, have bought completely into this activity. Because of direct taxation on the people, we are constantly under detailed control. If we make a contribution to an organization that is IRS qualified as 501c3, we can deduct that donation from our taxes. So we insist that the religions and other organizations meet the requirements so we can get our deductions. In this left-handed manner, the federal government controls what is donated to good and proper organizations. They are controlling both the organizations and us because these rules of non-political involvement were quietly inserted into the code. The Constitution calls for indirect taxation of the people, and when that was changed in 1913 by law and in 1916 by the Supreme Court, we were individually shackled by the federal government without even understanding what was going on. We still do not know why these changes occurred. This is how we continue to be controlled, and we don't take the time to even try to learn about these steps of control because it takes effort. The TV, sports, and celebrities are all more important, and that is where we place our emphasis rather than on our liberties. The conspiratorial organizations quietly and without fanfare change rules and customs to make us completely docile so they can better control us, and we are conditioned to like it. This all reminds me of a line from a song of the 1950s, "When will we ever learn? When will we ever learn?"